Okay, so now let's have a look at Cosmo Pharmacy's announcement when it comes to Brazula. So we can see that there is a quote 539% relative improvement versus placebo unquote headline, and it seems to read like a breakout moment for the androgenetic alopecia community. And like I said before, it does give some sort of validity to the mechanism of action being androgen receptor blockade, possibly working for androgenetic alopecia hair loss. But when you anchor it to the phase 2 data that they released previously, and even, this phase 2 graph, I'll have the editor posted somewhere on the screen, the number starts to look less like science and more like an investor grade sort of optics report. Now, I guess the first quote unquote red flag isn't that Clascoterone lacks an efficacy signal, because it does have an efficacy signal. No, it's more so that the phase 3 announcement doesn't present the simplest, most patient relevant numbers, and that would be the absolute change in target area hair count in the drug arm and the placebo vehicle arm. Instead, we get a ratio, the 5.39 times, sort of improvement, which is a classic way to inflate the perceived magnitude when the denominator is small or even negative. If the placebo group declines, which is common in untreated androgenetic alopecia, a modest absolute benefit can be repackaged as some sort of cartoonishly large percentage, as they're doing here. The 539% increase. So if I was an informed investor looking at this, I'd kind of be like, that's kind of weird, but investors mostly want to know whether or not this thing is going to get approved, right? And if I had to take a bit of a guess, because there is some sort of signal that shows efficacy, I think there's about maybe a 60% chance that Brazula will be approved by the FDA and even the EMA, the European Medicines Agency. And all we need to do is look at their previous phase 2 press release, and it basically confirms this sort of dynamic that they're doing here.